You can make mastery learning a reality one day at a time. Hey, John Bergman here. And today I want to talk about something a bit of a confessional. I talk all the time. Good schools about relationships. Kids don't care what you know until they know that you care. And I'm glad a student kind of called me out on something this week. And here's the story. So students are working towards mastery. They're working on different objects. And this particular student, I have noticed over the last months, about 2 months into school, that he's got ability and he's not applying himself. And so usually I see kids, I say, well, there's sort of like two categories. One category kid is kids who really are genuinely struggling with the content, and I want to really help them. And then there's kids who are kind of slacking off. And frankly, I put this kid in that second category, the slacking off category. And then he said, hey, Mr. Bergman, I'm really not that bad a kid. I mean, he said, you know what I have to do when I go home? I said, no. He says, I've got to parent my sibling. I've got to take care of him. Family's in some crisis, and he's having to take the role of a dad. He said, I'm like my little brother's dad when I get home. And this kid is, and it's like, I felt like a gut punch, honestly. I realized that I had missed this aspect of this student. And honestly, I think that's probably the reality of most of my kids who I categorize sometimes in my head as, hey, they're lazy, they're slacking off. Now, they're teenagers, right? I work with teenagers, and some of that's just real, right? That's part of being a teenager, is that sometimes you don't apply yourself as much as you can, but oftentimes there's a backstory. And I guess my encouragement to myself, maybe I'm talking to myself more than anybody else, maybe not to any of you, but my encouragement is to try to find the backstory of the students who are struggling. What's going on? Why are you struggling? Etc. I know another thing I'm seeing this year, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I'm seeing so many students who are in social emotional turmoil. And some of that's pandemic, I think, or maybe it's just that the pandemic exacerbates that. And I've just seen more than I've ever seen in my whole career. I've seen kids who are genuinely going through very difficult social emotional issues. Of course, I've seen this throughout my whole career, but it seems like it's almost like double the number of kids who are in some kind of a SEL crisis. And so I guess my encouragement to you, and frankly even to me, is to try to see what's going on behind the scenes so that we can help our kids, because our students need us more than just as content experts, more than just that encourager to learn whatever your topic is. They need somebody who is a safe adult who they can talk to and who will listen, and hopefully will direct them, inspire them to become the great people that they can and are becoming. Hey, if you like this podcast, I encourage you to push subscribe by whatever podcast usually the tool, whatever you're using. John Bergman out.